Hey, what's up, guys? Joker here. Hope everyone is doing well. Yesterday, Sony finally announced its long-awaited competitor to the Microsoft Game Pass, which has probably been the best selling point for the Xbox Series consoles. Up until now, Sony really has not had anything to compete directly with that, and now that has changed. But sadly, the announcement has been a little bit underwhelming, as it really doesn't come anywhere close to what Microsoft is offering with their Game Pass in terms of value and the sheer amount of content that is going to be available on either one of these Game Passes. So let's get into it and take a look at what Sony is offering and also what they are not offering that you could definitely get if you were to go with the green team. But first, today's video is brought to you by PrimeTechMart.com, where you can save money on software like Windows 10 Pro licenses for under $25. They've also got Windows 10 Home for under $20, and now Windows 11 Pro you can grab over on PrimeTechMart.com. They've also got Office 2019 and the new Office 2021. And if you want to save an additional 20% at checkout on Windows 10 or any other software, go ahead and click Buy It Now, and during the checkout process, go ahead and put JP20 in and apply that coupon, and that'll give you 20% off of any software that you happen to pick up over there. So for Windows 10 Pro, you can see it dropped our price down from $24.46 to under $20. So be sure to hit up the links down in the description below, and don't forget to use my coupon code JP20 at checkout for an additional 20% off. Now, up until now, I have made no mistake about it that if you're a PC gamer and you own a capable gaming PC, I don't really feel there's much reason to own an Xbox. All of their first-party exclusives are available on the PC, and they're also available via the Game Pass, which is on the PC and not just on consoles. So as someone that owns a gaming PC, I conceivably have no reason to own an Xbox, and the fact that I own a PS5 also adds to the fact that I have absolutely no reason to ever consider owning a Microsoft Xbox console. However, for those people out there that are choosing to be console gamers, because they do offer an excellent value, especially this generation, if you can get one at MSRP for $500 for a PS5 or a Series X console, the sheer amount of power in these systems is incredible, and I have enjoyed my PS5 up until now immensely, so I really can't fault anyone this generation to go straight up on console one way or the other. At the end of the day, you're really going to have to choose what is right for you based on the games that you want to play, where your friends are playing, and even that is kind of dissipating nowadays as crossplay has become a major thing in multiplayer titles, but then also the value that those consoles offered outside of just, the exclusives that maybe you want to play, which I prefer Sony first-party exclusives, but that's just me. It's not going to be everyone. Some people out there want to play Halo, they want to play Forza, whatever. I'm more of an Uncharted, Last of Us, Gran Turismo type of person, so I tend to go towards Sony and use that for my exclusive titles, and other stuff I just play on PC, including Xbox exclusives, which I enjoy as well, including Halo. So the Game Pass coming, or the Sony PlayStation Plus, which they're kind of expanding into very different tiers coming in June, is trying to sort of shake things up and sort of meet what Microsoft is doing with their Game Pass and be a direct competitor to that. However, the value of it is just simply not there, and one of the main reasons is because they're not going to be offering their first-party titles day one for any of the tiers, which go anywhere from $60 all the way up to $120, and that is something that Microsoft offers even on their base plan for Microsoft Game Pass. So let's jump into seeing what Sony is offering here, the prices on this. So to start off, get this one out of the way, the PlayStation Plus Essential. This has absolutely no this is just PlayStation Plus. They're calling it PlayStation Plus Essential because that's what it is. This basically just gives you access to the online via the Sony PlayStation 5 or PS4 or whatever, and you get 2 free games a month at the very least, which is a nice feature that they have there on the PlayStation Plus. And honestly, I have no problem with the value that PlayStation Plus offers. I really wish you didn't have to pay for online access, as we're already paying for internet and games, and most games have their own servers anyway. But it's just one of those evils. Microsoft and Nintendo all do the same exact thing. It kind of sucks, but it is a necessary evil in the current gaming world, and that's going to be $10 a month, or you can pay $60 a year. A yearly plan, something that Microsoft does not offer at all, so you can get some value there with that. If we're just talking about just the amount of money that you're actually going to be paying out of pocket. What most gamers are going to want to really look at is going to be the PlayStation Plus Extra or the PlayStation Plus Premium. So the PlayStation Plus Extra is really going to be the Game Pass competitor, and that's going to be $15 a month or $100 yearly, which is not too bad. You're going to get 400 plus games from PS4 and PS5 that you'll be able to download directly to your system, and you can play them just like any other games that you would technically own, except you don't really own them. You basically just have access to them as long as your membership is active and as long as Sony or the third parties that own some of these titles decide not to pull them from the platform, which is also another thing that could happen with these subscription-based services. If they lose a exclusivity agreement with companies X, Y, and Z, for example, then those titles could conceivably disappear from your gaming library overnight to no fault of your own, and you're still ending up paying $100 a year for the PlayStation Plus Extra membership. And I really feel like this is going to be the sweet spot for PlayStation Plus if you just want to expand your library of titles and not have to spend a ton of extra money out of pocket, maybe play some older titles from PS4 that maybe got PS5 enhancements. This is probably going to be the best way to go, but it still doesn't offer a great value compared to Game Pass. The final thing on here is PlayStation Plus Premium, which I think is the worst value on here. It's only another $20 per month, but really all that you're gaining from that is you're getting access to essentially, which putting in plain English, you're essentially getting PlayStation Now, which is PlayStation's streaming subscription service. They listed as an additional 340 games, but I have a feeling the vast majority of those are going to be from cloud streaming from the PS3, which they talk about in here, as well as PS2, PSP, and PS4 games. So maybe some of these 340 or so games could be downloadable, but the vast majority of this is they're just nixing PlayStation Now, and that is essentially going to be rolled into PlayStation Premium, which means all of those the majority of those extra titles, you're going to have to stream over a network connection, and you will not be able to download them directly to your system. And to me, that's a non-starter. That can go suck a bag of dicks. I'm not streaming a game now or ever. They can go fuck themselves with PlayStation Now, right now and forever. So that is a shit value in my personal opinion. So PlayStation Plus Extra, if you want the extra games, that's going to be the sweet spot for it. But really, how can they possibly compete with Xbox's Game Pass when they offer that? And again, they don't have a annual subscription fee, so you could be spending $100 a year for the PlayStation Plus Extra to get some extra games on there. Or you could, if you had Xbox, you could get the Game Pass, and that's going to be $10 a month, so that ends up being $120 a year. So that's, $20 more, granted. But the key thing is it's going to give you Xbox Studio titles the day that they come out. And you also get EA Play. So any EA titles that are on EA Play and available through that, you're going to get access to those as well on top of first-party exclusives from Xbox day one for $120. They also have the Ultimate, which is $15 a month. I did the maths on this. I did actual maths. This works out to be, I believe it's $180 for an entire year. So definitely more expensive than even the highest tier of PlayStation Plus. But again, you're getting first-party titles with that. You're getting access to EA Play, and you're getting Xbox Live Gold, which would have been $60 anyway. And they also have that bundled into the PlayStation Plus. But yeah, for $180, you're getting the $60 Xbox Live Gold. You're getting first-party titles day one. You're getting EA Play. The value there is tremendous, even though you're going to end up spending an additional $60 annually. To me, that would be worth it for the first-party titles alone, let alone the fact that they are also including EA Play into that. Now, there will be some first-party titles that are going to be included in the PlayStation Plus, but it's not going to be day one titles. So Sony said on Tuesday via Jim Ryan from Sony, said they will have first-party titles like Death Stranding, God of War, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Mortal Kombat 11, Returnal, as well as more titles. So basically, they'll be adding on their older titles. They're not going to be putting on titles day one, and we really don't know how long of a gap they're going to have between, say, when a first-party title comes out and when they would start to consider including it in the higher-tier PlayStation Plus packages. So maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. We really don't know, because they feel like that would hurt the development of their big budget titles, as Ryan had put it here in this interview. He said it could hurt the development of Sony's big budget titles. He also went on to say this is not a road that we've gone down in the past, and it's not a road that we're going to go down with this new service, talking about adding first-party titles on day one with the service. So they talk about how it could possibly hurt their budget, and dedication to bringing premium AAA titles that, you know, Sony is kind of known for. They have a pretty good track record when it comes to first-party titles. They pretty much 9 times out of 10 when they launch are just straight-up bangers in polished condition. Gran Turismo 7 recently withstanding with some of the microtransaction issues and always online stuff. The gameplay itself in Gran Turismo 7 is extremely polished, and it's incredible. God of War, you know, same kind of thing, and Marvel Spider-Man games, they launch and they work really well. And they're just very good first-party titles, honestly. But the whole argument that it would hurt their bottom line and their budget, I completely disagree with, because they could easily just raise the price. If they wanted to just match what Xbox is doing for their premium ultimate package at $180, they could do that. They could have the $180 plan or $150, $200 plan even, and I'm sure there would be a lot of people out there willing to pay $200 a year if it meant they were getting all the first-party titles day one without any issues, that they were going to have that huge backlog of games, including the bullshit streaming PlayStation Now stuff and PlayStation Plus all tied into that. Because as a person that owns a PS5, more or less exclusively for the exclusives, I would gladly pay $200 at the beginning of every single year rather than shelling out $60 for Plus and then have to worry about, you know, spending $60, $70 actually. Let's be realistic. Games are $70 now for new titles on the next-gen consoles. Spending that $70 every 2 to 3 months, and probably they come out with maybe 3 to 4 first-party titles a year that I would personally be interested in, but I'm sure they come out with more than that. So spending the $200 would still be an excellent value, and then you eliminate the issue of them getting less money to have to invest in the development of said AAA titles coming directly from Sony. So I completely disagree with their argument as far as to why they can't offer first-party titles. They could have just as easily offered a higher-end tier to include that stuff, which is kind of scummy if they worded it like that, but I'm sure they could have put some sort of PR spin on it to make gamers feel all warm and fuzzy inside, so they felt like they were getting their first-party titles and that they felt like they weren't being shafted in any way whatsoever when it came being compared to the Microsoft Game Pass, and I feel like this is going to end up just getting them a lot of bad press. But we'll see what happens in June when this thing rolls out, and just, you know, what quality of titles are going to be bundled in with the PlayStation Plus Premium or whatever they're calling it, and also, you know, going forward with these new titles that are coming out, first-party titles from Sony, how long are we going to have to wait to see them show up on there? So that's all I've got for you guys today talking about this PlayStation Plus. Let me know your thoughts on everything down in the comments below, and I will catch you next time for another video.